Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Welcome to the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, free offering of breathwork known as Rise Up Breathwork with Matt Thomson. This music is making me speak in like a different tone today. I'm going to give everybody a second to tune in. Thank you to everybody who showed up to our class today. It's so nice to see some faces in the room. We do want to remind you that we are open to the public on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for our drop-in free community classes. The breathwork offering is at 11 and the yoga offering on Wednesday is at 1. And we're trying to figure out times that work for you. So we, during the school year, are offering these services during the week, during the day, to help out parents who maybe, school is the only time that they have free childcare. We also have our Friday night integrated recovery practices group meeting at 7 o'clock this week. We're going to be doing a cacao ceremony followed by a guided meditation. These are two sisters who I actually didn't realize that Christina was Jessica's sister the first time that she came in. But Christina Love is coming all the way from Costa Rica. She has 35 pounds of cacao in her suitcase. Yeah, so I purchased some cacao from her to bring back that she sources from, the beautiful village that she's been staying in Costa Rica, so that we can support their local economy and really show our gratitude for learning about these sacred practices. And these circles are so important for our growth. And it's also very important to acknowledge the indigenous, tribes that, really have been doing this for a millennial. So, always remembering to say thank you and express our gratitude. And the best way you can sometimes do that is with money and buying things from them. So that's what we did. We have cacao coming straight from Costa Rica. You'll be able to purchase it here at Irie Bliss Wellness. And of course, you'll get to sample it on Friday night. And then on Saturday, if you guys were at my wedding, it's going to be DJ Nook. And he held it down for 72 hours. Okay, we had this poor brother Friday night doing a barbecue, Saturday doing the wedding, and Sunday he was the precursor for our reggae afternoon band that we had. So this man is epic. You can find him at the Pelham down in Rhode Island. He's always gigging, always doing weddings, and so he's going to come here and raise the vibration once again for my amazing tribe. That starts at high noon on Saturday, so DJ Nook, we cannot wait to see your face because I love you, you're my brother. So Matt, what do we have going on today?
We're going to do some non-breathing. We're going to hold our breath for 40 minutes. Go!
That sounds like how I was living my life before I started breathwork.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah. I think it's amazing once we started actually tuning into the breath, how we all of a sudden start realizing, like, holy, I'm like really holding my breath. I'm like, yeah, me too.
How much you were not breathing?
Yeah, how much you were not breathing. But I thought maybe we'll just dip into a little bit into, like, what is our purpose? And sometimes, like, we've brought up, like, what's our soul purpose or our purpose. But, like, what is, like, our purpose? Like, how might you see that?
Do you want to know what's something really funny I started doing this summer, which helped me a lot with that, is I started looking up everybody's numerology and then the meaning of your name. Mm-hmm. So it helped me when I was around 24 years old. Somebody actually told me what my name meant, and I felt it was very interesting because my name means defender of mankind or defender of humans or defender of humanity, *helper. And I feel like as soon as I heard that, it was almost like as if like a weight had been put on my shoulder, but it's like I knew the weight was already there, but it allowed me to like kind of man up or woman up and own the weight of that, and kind of realize that I need to claim my namesake and like honor what my ancestors have chosen for me. I believe that you choose the parents that you come to, and that you are here kind of predestined to be part of the situation or the equation that you were born into. And, it's usually to learn something, right? So for me, I mean, my entire career and focus has been about how to help humans, so it made a lot of sense to me that my name is Sandra, defender of, human rights and people, and really kind of standing up against the system, whether that's like, being a home birth, outspoken home birth advocate, outspoken breastfeeding mama. I mean, a lot of the ways in which I've been raising my family may not have been the most conventional ways. So I feel like my personal purpose is to defend the old ways, to defend some of the knowledge that was basically stripped from us in this culture over the last couple of generations regarding birth and regarding, natural parenting and stuff like that too.
Yeah, and I think, sometimes we view stuff like if you're doing stuff non-conventional, there's just like this negativity that gets looked upon from you, maybe from other parents in the neighborhood or from the school or even from the teachers. And really, like, even a part of like what our focus is how we perceive the future of going back into like a community-based style of living, supporting each other with food, this person doing this, and we all like help support each other. And I think even to me that even comes into raising a family and going back to that old term of it takes a village to raise a child. And who says that it has to be just you and Jay raising your two children?
Yeah.
Or when they get to that time and we've made a shift on this planet, maybe there's a time when the parents maybe are less active, like the actual people who gave birth, and it's more the other people surrounding. But there's always, it's just kind of like a game, a little bit.
Absolutely. I want my children to especially feel like they can trust several other adults, right? Because there's going to come a time where they might have issues that they don't feel comfortable talking to their parents about, right? So having other trusted adults in their life has been instrumental for me and my mental health also. Because you're right, you need to be able to pass the torch. You need to be able to say, I need to tap out for a minute. I'm tired.
And I think too, like just like us, like what you just said was so perfect because maybe Nate he's more comfortable talking to Joe about something, and it's just not comfortable with you and Dad.
Right.
And that's okay as long as he has that outlet of being able to freely express of who he is. Mm-hmm. So the purpose. Now let's go back to the purpose. So are you viewing your purpose kind of as what you just stated, like that? You're here to be that high priestess, the one that's providing space.
I know what my purpose is. Are you ready? Yeah. My purpose here on planet Earth is to talk about sex, drugs, taxes, and death. I mean, honest, like these are the taboo. These are the things that I want to make normal. I want you to talk about what you want to happen at the end of your life or at your funeral before you're sick, before it's an emergency. Why are we waiting to talk about people and speak about how beautiful they were once they're actually dead? Why don't we have a party and talk about this when you're still alive and you can hear it so that you feel a little bit safer going into that next realm, knowing that you made a mark on this world, So that's my thing. Taxes, drugs, sex, and death. That's my purpose. That's why I started this church, right? Because that's a lot of the issues that churches are dealing with because they're community-based ceremonies. I'm sorry, sex as a ceremony. Let's talk about it. I mean, I am very passionate about those 4 topics, and they all relate to the system and how the system, in my opinion, is disconnecting us from one another and how it could very easily be shifted. So shifting the paradigms, that's my purpose.
Yeah, and I think, that if I died, like when that day comes, like, have a party, man, and have like a good time. And because, we send flowers, we do this, we send all this stuff to someone or to the family, like when someone passes, it's like, send the person freaking flowers before they die so that they can enjoy it. And then celebrate their life, like celebrate who they were. And like one of my things with death is to take a piece of the person who passed that may be something that's like really beautiful about who they were while they were here. And then maybe it's something that's absent within me. And I try and take that gift from that person and carry that torch forward. So even like, it was like a year ago last week that my mom passed. And like, I really didn't shed any tears like during that time because it was like, I sat with her through that process of the last breath. I was really happy for her that she was back with my dad, back home, that she was out of the misery, out of the pain. And I wasn't sad to lose her because it was that time.
Because she was swimming in the sacred instead of in pain and suffering. Yeah.
And so
death can be beautiful. And I think it absolutely needs to be kind of shifted. And even those ceremonies, like I remember being terrified. I went to a lot of funerals as a child, like around 11, 12 years old, and just, it's the traditional way of how we presented, the deceased can be kind of creepy to kids. I don't know if anybody else felt that way.
It can be,
So, we aspire, I want to be put in a mushroom suit in a hemp coffin. You know what I mean? Eat me up, make me like 10,000 trees. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think as the next couple of decades, I think we really are going to see a shift in that end of life dynamic, and hospice is going to take on a new meaning. Hospice, like bring it back to the home, bring it back to the family, bring it back to bring us back to Mother Earth in a way that's like
Yeah.
less detrimental to Mother Earth. So that's one of my missions, but God, I could go on for days about that. But alas, we're here to breathe, right?
We are going to breathe, and I'm going to bring up one thing.
Yes, my friend.
So your purpose.
Yes, my purpose.
I love your purpose, because it is really who you are. But before you get to that purpose of the external and what we're doing for others and community around us, I'm going to invite people to find the purpose of within themselves first.
Oh, that's a good idea. Right.
And because the more, so if we've talked a lot recently about manifesting, right? And energy work and feeling more energy. And so manifesting is really healing, because the more we heal, we change our vibration. We step into different doorways that are entering a room of a different vibrational frequency that we're giving off. And as we tune into that new radio station, as we heal, then we're manifesting that life, because we're giving off that energy, that frequency, and we're tuning into that like an antenna. But until we've done that work, we can say we're manifesting. We can start using the words, which is good, because it's starting to put that thought into the mind or into the frequency. But it's not really until we also are shifting within ourselves and changing. Like, one of the things I feel like I've gone through in the last month particularly is like this battle with like some of the chains that are on me. And I feel like there's like these two chains that really need to come off. They're kind of off. They're very loose, right? But I view it as once they're dropped, then I'm going to shift into that new room, and the door is going to shut, because I'm going to be that new frequency, and I'm not going to go back. But as the chains are still here, I can feel it into the new area. But I'm also in that void, that middle space, the middle space of back and forth in that void. It's almost like I would almost view it as like that's the 4D, and I'm shifting back into the 3D of what the chain is, and the 5D is the new door, the new room of that higher frequency, and shifting more into the 5D.
You know what's interesting about you feeling this way at this particular time in the year is if you even think about the changing of the seasons right now. We're sort of in between summer and fall. You have a couple days that feel like summer, and the next day it's going to feel like fall. And it's kind of, summer's back, and then back to fall. So you're kind of in that, it's really reflecting what's going on in Mother Nature right now too, which is interesting. And I also love the phrase, everything is a ripple. I did not come up with that. That is Dub FX. If you don't know that band, check them out. But everything is a ripple into what you want for the future. So you're planting the seeds today. I mean, this is harvest season, so we're actually going to be harvesting. But in general, you plant the seeds today that become the fruits of tomorrow, right? So I love that idea of like mind manifesting, and why we do these practices in the first place is because really we're trying to leave not just a legacy for our children, but for our future self. I want to be able to thank my future self, like, wow, I'm really glad I thought of that 10 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like, it's nice to kind of envision what you want for whether you want. I will never retire. I mean, let's face it, I'm way too much energy for that. I don't even know what that word means. But maybe freeing yourself from the chains of the things that like no longer serve you, right? And how do we kind of like grow? So I love that.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
I'm gonna go lay down.
Do you want to dim the lights?
Yes, I'm gonna dim the lights.
Or turn them off, or maybe not. Well, I guess not turn them off, but I think it'd be totally.
Oh, a little dark.
Yeah. Can you dim them though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Is that in your face?
Can you? No, try it. Yeah, actually, that is beautiful. Oh my God, we should have had it there at the beginning. You're fired.
Oh, you look so pretty, Matt. Oh yeah, the lighting is way better now. Jesus.
I just went from a 4 to a 10. No, my goodness.
I love you.
So I'm just going to invite everyone to find a comfortable position, laying down. Sitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just tuning into the breath. Just tune in to how you need to breathe for a moment here. Just releasing everything, let everything go. Maybe you need a big sigh, a big in-breath, a big out-breath. Maybe your breath is quiet. Just tune into the body. Listen with your ears. I invite you to listen with your ears and listen to your body. What is your body speaking to you about your breath? As we breathe into the stomach, and we're going to bring our inhale now through the nose, into the stomach, and out through the mouth. And just tapping in, tune into the breath, allowing for the breath and feeling the air travel through the nose, up to the head, to the brain maybe, and how it turns down into the esophagus and into the throat, and how it travels into the stomach. And so when we're having a rough day and we're really in that mental mind, maybe we're in the mental body, if we can start tracking and following the breath into the body and just focus on that. And just feeling into not only how the breath travels through the body, but maybe what's the energy of the breath? How is the breath maybe changing the frequency within you? Is the breath bringing more relaxation and allowing stuff to drop away as we feel the breath entering and traveling through the body, allowing for us to tap into more sensations of becoming lighter, maybe softer, maybe melting into the ground and having no separation between body and ground or chair. Maybe even seeing if the body is becoming more alive with the breath. Instead of becoming sleepy and feeling like you're going to fall asleep, tap into how it wakes up the system as the system is also relaxing. And just dropping into staying in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I'm just going to invite you now to do on your next inhale to really breathe in deep and to hold at the top, and then to just let out a nice, big, strong, long exhale and just drop into how are you feeling now? maybe feeling more centered, grounded. Maybe a feeling of standing more in your power of who you are. Coming from this place of the heart and feeling that aliveness. And just breathing in all the sounds around you, the sounds that you can hear. You're not just hearing this, you're breathing all this into your system. You know, as we were speaking about our purpose, I feel that for myself, the first chapter here is, what is the purpose of my individual journey, my healing, in creating the Matthew that was actually meant to be. Doing the work, waking myself up, being honest, authentic with who I've been, who I was in the past, where I came from as a child, what my parents were going through during birth or pregnancy, and just beginning this process of really unwrapping the gift of who I actually really am. For myself, most importantly. Because as like what Sandy was saying, we always think of a purpose in terms of what we're doing in the external. My purpose is to be a doctor or a surgeon or a lawyer or a teacher or whatever. There's so many different purposes. And just breathe into that for a moment. And as we begin to maybe look within, we begin to have a new vision of who we are. So I'm going to invite you for a moment to breathe in and out through the mouth and through the nose. And you can kind of mix it up any way that you need to. But what I'm going to invite here is that we take 2 inhales with 1 long exhale. So the first inhale is going to be filling up the belly. And then the second inhale, which is going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, maybe not as long, is going to be expanding and opening up the chest, expanding the ribs, maybe bringing the shoulders back and really drawing everything up into the mind or into the ground, and then releasing the exhale. I'm going to invite this to be a circular breath as to where you're trying not to pause in between your out breath and in breath. So it's kind of something like, I sometimes feel like the second breath is a little bit more through the nose, but it's still through the mouth, but that's just me. And just, you can make this breath more gentle. You can turn up the dial on it, make it a little bit, maybe a little bit deeper of a breath. And just tune into this breath. This is an activating breath. And I just invite you for a moment just to find this breath and fall into the rhythm of 2 inhales, breathing into the stomach, then into the chest, and then out. And just deepen this conscious effort of breathing. And just tapping into this breath. And as you're exploring this breath right now, and trying not to think too hard here, my invitation here is to try and receive information, from within the body. And maybe just discovering a little bit about what you feel your purpose is on this journey for yourself first. Not about anything in the external world, but just discovering and seeing what may arise within the mind about your purpose, your journey, your healing. Just breathing into this. And just seeing what arises. The more we really step into our purpose and discover this for ourselves, then maybe we can stand in our more truest, more authentic power of who we are. And then as we shift this purpose into the world around us, we are in that power trying to stay with this breath with the 2 inhales. And now a nice deep breath in through the nose for a hold. We're going to hold, deep breath in on this inhale and hold. And then let go and release. And then just drop into any breath you want for a moment. Tapping back into how are you feeling now? Just tap into the body. And maybe just tap into the feeling, the sensations within the body of what you have discovered thus far about your purpose, your light. And then I'm going to invite you back into this double inhale, mouth and nose, into the stomach, up into the chest. Really on that second inhale, really pull it up and open up that heart center. And maybe ask for some help from whatever it is that you believe in, the ancestors around you, the power within you. And just ask for some guidance on what is maybe a little bit deeper purpose of self. Receiving, hearing with no thought, and now I invite you to do one more breath hold on your next inhale to really draw in the breath up to the crown. Hold it for as long as you're comfortable. And then really release it, dropping back into your breath and breathing just normally for a moment. Just breathing what is right for you. Maybe feeling more balanced within your system. Letting this frequency that you hear help bring the body maybe into a little bit deeper frequency of this purpose of self. This purpose of self, this gateway into maybe even a larger purpose of how we may serve our community, people around us, our family. Maybe the purpose might even change how we speak. Maybe with more compassion, more love. Maybe this purpose will allow for us to deepen our connection with the heart and to also come from this space to help lead us and guide us. Maybe even allowing for the gut area to relax and for these energies to begin to shift. And now for a moment, I'm just going to invite you to bring the breath back to just maybe breathing in and out through the nose for a minute and just kind of bringing the body back into balance. Breathing into the stomach just through the nose, mouth shut. And I'm just going to invite you for a moment to imagine what you may look like or what you may feel like in the space of being in this new energy, this new purpose of discovering the purpose of your journey, the purpose of your personal healing journey, the purpose of setting ourselves free, dropping the chains, leaving this life of slavery, being a slave to things out and around us. What's it going to feel like when we find this purpose and drop or begin to drop these chains? When we begin this process, we don't have to even heal the stuff right away. Because what's beautiful is we have to remember that it takes time. But the universe will gift you and show you how you can deeper this feeling, and it will come more and more. The beauty of this, when we transition back into our normal lives, and we go back and forth with this inner purpose of self, that if you keep the eyes open and the ears listening, and the body sensations and feeling things into the body, the universe will gift us, and it will let us know what we're working towards, what the freedom will feel like once we begin this authentic process. So just feel yourself standing in this power for 1 minute, one more minute. And then now just letting everything go. And slowly start to move the body. Slowly kind of bring yourself back into the space that you're in. And so I hope that everyone listening to this today was able to discover at least one aspect of maybe what their inner purpose is. And this is also an invitation to maybe write about it, or to free write, maybe to talk to someone. Did you discover anything about yourself?
Holy crap. Sorry. Oh my God, that was wild, Matt. Okay. So, yeah, I was talking about the sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing, but you know what? I realized, I'm so happy we did this today, because it was the 4-year anniversary of my grandma passing this past weekend. Oh my God, I'm so excited right now. My heart just got so excited. I actually met my husband at a dance hall, at a reggae night at the Phoenix Landing. And, my ability to be able to express myself creatively through movement was kind of lost when I became a mom. Hey, I got my babies out because I was able to move my body freely because I had a home birth.
Yeah.
But I had this vision of my grandmother. She had an interesting position when she came to America. When my Nana came to America, they came from Lithuania. And my Nana was 18 years old, and she came on a cattle ship, right, on a boat. Her daughters were dancers, and my Nana was widowed during the Great Depression. So my 13-year-old grandmother and her 17-year-old sister, do you know what their unique position was? They used to teach men who were in the army how to dance.
Oh, yes.
So they used to meet at the Polish club, the Lithuanian clubs, 5 o'clock. We're talking coffee and donuts. This wasn't alcohol. People weren't getting drunk. And that's how my grandmother and my grandfather met, was dancing. And that's how my husband and I met, was dancing. And I just made that connection in that meditation. I just saw my grandmother and my grandfather, and he was young, and they were both beautiful. And I remember watching them dance at Christmas time and listening to they were very the Perry Como, the Frank Sinatra generation, and they would seemingly glide across the living room, the pala, as they say in Boston. And just that, I think I forgot that part of my purpose here is to continue to express myself through dance and movement, and just because it comes very natural to me, but it's also a way to honor my ancestors and how relationships can really be formed. And, I think the internet and meeting people on dating apps has become the new dance hall, and it's kind of sad. And so I encourage you, my PSA for today is go out and dance, people. Go have some fun. Because, really, because I mean, my husband and I barely were able to talk the night that we met because, of course, the music is so loud. You're not really conversing in a club, but you can say a lot with your body. You can say a lot with that energy, vibration, and frequency of partner dancing. And my mom expressed that this weekend that she wished to maybe go and do some partner dancing. So that's what I'm going to do. Mom, if you're watching, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. I think my husband and I and my mom and dad, I could envision us maybe kind of learning those dances that my gram did with my grandpa, the jitterbug, the Charleston, like all those dances. Like, who's doing that, right? I want to be that chick that's getting like thrown around at a dance club. I have new dreams. So thank you.
Yeah. And I think, dance and movement is just so beautiful. And it's actually, when I was younger, I was able to dance really well.
Mm-hmm.
And through my journey, like, I lost that.
Mm-hmm.
And it became like I was like in this cinder block body. And it's actually been like, super stuck. And it's been a process for me to actually kind of start loosening up and start moving like that again. And I do it more just on my own with my energy work. But I hear you on that. That's super beautiful.
I'm so excited, and
Yeah.
I'm so excited to announce that on October 7th, I am taking a 200-hour yoga teacher training. There's still spots in the class.
Mhm.
If you go to Open Doors Yoga Studios, they have a 200-hour and a 300-hour offering right now that are both starting up in October. I'd love to meet some of you and have more classmates to network with here in the Weymouth Landing area. Matt and Marissa, who own the studio, have been amazingly generous to us, allowing us to use the space for our community-based events where we're not charging the community money. They don't charge us money. So, hey, we're opening the doors here at Open Doors Yoga to figure out ways to express yourself with movement, with breath. These tools are just so beautiful because, like you said, we get so stuck. And when emotions get stuck in your body, they create disease, right?
Yeah.
Dis-ease. Think about the word. If we learn how to move and flow and dance with ease, then I have a feeling we'll have less disease. That's just
I mean, disease, sickness, like all of it is actually a stuck energy within the system.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to just we do have a guest in the house. So I did want to honor, thank you for being here today. And this is an invitation to you. You do whatever feels comfortable, but I just want to, if there's anything that you want to express, because you haven't really breathed with me, I think maybe once before. So if there's anything that came up for you today, you don't have to express. You're not on camera or anything, but if there's something that you want to share, I just want to have that space for you.
No, I'd love to, because I realize I'm an egotist and I like to talk.
Yeah.
But when I was listening to you speak in the beginning, it made me think, wow, I'm listening for once instead of having the need to talk. I always have the need to talk and not listen. So that's really important for me, to listen to people instead of wait for my turn to speak out.
Yeah.
But I also, when it comes to purpose, I think that, I'm a creative type, and I was here to, whether it's create little stories or entertain people with just dumb little jokes and everything, but also play the yin card to the yang that you guys have. I like to be skeptical of everything because I think that's important to have balance in general.
Yeah.
So I like to shake things up a little bit by being maybe negative a little bit. And, I mean, we need that because that keeps things in balance. And when you said to the disease a second ago, I'm nervous. Today is one of the days I go get my blood test at the oncologist, which I'm nervous about. Could go both ways, so it's a big day for that. Just to see if it's progressed at all or whatever. So a lot of things are very coincidental. It was an amazing thing. I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you for coming today. I appreciate it.
I believe in synchronicities, not coincidences.
Yeah.
You're here for a
Or
reason. Kismet, all those things.
Yeah.
Kismet Wellness, that's my friend's company, Jenna. Shout out to Jenna up in Maine. And Sam, our members who grow amazing medicine for some of our church fellow.
There you go.
Church fellows. Well, yeah, this has been amazing. I am like, whoo, I'm going to have a great day. I have a meeting that I'm going to walk into now with an open heart, thinking about how I can take the true Holy Sacrament into dispensaries and create a brand that is going to be 100% donated. You know, all the proceeds from my new brand are going to be donated to the church. So stay tuned for that. That's a whole. Again, I got a meeting about it. I can't talk about it too much yet, but yeah, I'm going to go into this meeting today with a very open heart, thinking about how many other people we can help. And you know, again, these are tools that are free. Your breath is with you every day, all day. You don't need to go to a class, you know, to tap into it. You can do it, you know, when you're doing your homework. You can do it if you're trying to be creative in other ways. But yeah, we just thank you so much, Matt, for your expertise. Matt is a student of life. He is always encouraging me. I mean, you were my inspiration for signing up for the yoga teacher training. I'm not going to lie, because I would have tended to have been the type of person to say, I do not have enough time for that. However, once you decide you want to do something, what do? You make time.
Yeah.
And you prioritize, and then you set boundaries, and you release things that are no longer serving you to make room for the things that you actually want to call in. So that's what I've been really inspired to do, thanks to you and watching you and in your journey. So Matt, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For everything that you bring to the table. As always, I love you all. Please go to pcsam.org, subscribe to our newsletter. That's also where you will be able to find out about all of our awesome events that we have going on here at 63 Washington Street in Weymouth Landing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Over and out.
Have a beautiful day. We'll see you all next week.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.